Welcome to Fantasy Enchantment, where I describe fantasy books to my husband and see if he's enchanted. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Justin.
Today, we are going to power through and finish the rest of House of Flame and Shadow, the third Crescent City book.
And I fucking hate it.
Justin has not had a good time with these. I'm very sorry about that.
Not at all. I'm genuinely reaching the point where I feel sorry for the people who've read these books because I feel like you've wasted so much of your life that you'll never get back.
That was rude.
Also, currently the Euros are on, which is a European soccer tournament that most people, if you're listening to this podcast, are not familiar with. I'm a big soccer fan, and there is a game between Croatia and Albania, two teams that I could not give two shits less about. I maybe know one player who plays between the two teams. I don't care about them at all, and it's still way more interesting than these goddamn books.
Are you done?
I guess.
Okay. So we're going to have to do a quick recap of what happened last time.
Great, more. I can't wait to hear more about these books.
When we left off, Bryce had returned from the night court. She's got Asriel's dagger and the star sword.
Right.
She locked her dad in a closet and then teleported away.
Because she teleports now.
She teleports now. To find Hunt, he's on the submarine. He got out of the palace with the Asteri. Lydia got shot on the way out, so she's healing. Her and Rune are maybe okay now. Ethan is a fuck-up. He accidentally killed that girl, the Mystic Wolf. So he's working on that, trying to figure that out.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much figured out. She did.
Well, he's going to try to find a necromancer.
Right, that's right. I remember the necromancer now.
And Therian is also a fuck-up.
He's not a mer person anymore. That's hard for me to say, mer person. Merfolk.
Okay.
Fish people.
Yes, he's a fish people.
I like fish people.
Are you ready?
As ready as I'm going to be. This is probably going to be a long one, gang. Strap in.
Yeah, because we are going to do our best to knock out the rest of them.
Nobody wants to listen to another one of these podcasts, so we're going to try to finish it.
Stop. I'm sorry you're having such a hard time with this one.
Anything is better. Why is this so popular? Why do people like these so much?
I mean, it is a lot different when you're reading it.
It's too complicated.
You're too complicated.
We just watched the new season of Game of Thrones, whatever that's called.
House of Dragon.
House of the Dragon. We just watched the first episode of season 2. I couldn't remember anything that happened in season 1, and it came out like 2 years ago. I literally, the whole episode, I kept asking, wait, who is that? Why is that person connected to that person? What happened? That guy got ate by a dragon, right? I couldn't remember a goddamn thing. And that I get to watch that. I don't know how you read this and try to draw this picture in your head.
Okay.
All right, continue.
Don't sound so excited.
I can't wait.
Okay. So, Hunt, Therion, and Baxian, you remember all of them?
Yeah.
They meet, they're on the submarine, they meet with the Ocean Queen. At the same time, Lydia is healed enough that she manages to run out of the, medical room that she's in. Lydia, also the Hind, by the way. Don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she goes running off, and she's just bolting down the hallway until she gets to this room where there are kids. And this is when we find out that she's got 2 children who live on this boat.
Boat kids?
Submarine, I mean. Yes, they're submarine kids.
That seems like a bad place to raise a child, on a submarine.
I mean, I'm sure it's preferable than raising them in the Asteri Palace where these people are getting tortured and killed all the time.
I mean, I guess it's a better option, but it seems like submarine is not the best place to raise a child.
Well.
Especially not that one that goes down to the Titanic. Those people all got squished.
Yeah, they're gone.
They did.
It's not the Titanic submersible that they're on. They're going to be fine.
They're controlling it with something other than an N64 controller.
Yes. Okay. The Ocean Queen says that Therion has a bounty on his head between the Viper Queen and the River Queen.
Right, because everybody's pissed at him. He's pissed off all the queens.
Yes.
Does the Ocean Queen live in the ocean? Is she also like a fish person?
Yeah, she's also kind of like a mer person. She's just an ocean mer person instead of a river mer person.
So she's a saltwater instead of a freshwater mer person.
Sure.
She got a crown on?
Maybe.
Looks like the Burger King's crown?
No.
No. Okay.
But then Bryce teleports in.
Because this bitch is just teleporting all over the place now. I guess that does speed up the time where she doesn't have to travel around. She can just teleport places now.
Yeah. And then says that Therion serves her because she is queen of the Valbaran Fae now. She's officially declared herself the queen.
Another queen.
More queens. She tells the Ocean Queen about the parasite in the water. Do you remember that? That the Asteri are using to poison people so that they have to do the drop so that the Asteri can eat their power.
Yeah.
Okay, she tells the queen about that because Ocean Queen didn't know.
She really missed the boat on that one, I guess. Boat, ocean.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome. Nice little pun.
She wants to go to the Northern Rift and open the portal to the Princes of Hell. Because that's their thing, is the Princes of Hell want to come in and fuck up the Asteri.
Okay.
But they need help to do it. And in order to do that, first they have to go to Avalon, which is where Cormac was from. Do you remember Cormac?
I remember the name. What's he do?
He was Bryce's quote-unquote fiance, blew himself up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a real cunt.
And then... What?
Continue.
Okay. Ruin comes in and tells everyone about Lydia's kids. She's got 2 sons that are living on this sub.
He's like, holy shit, this bitch has got kids.
Yeah, basically. Everybody's very surprised. Nobody knew about the kids.
Well, she just didn't want to talk about it.
Also, Bryce has the Autumn King's notebook where he was writing down all the research he was doing because he was real worried about the power they were losing and all this prophecy stuff about the sword. So he's been looking into it for a long time. And then Lydia meets her sons because she's never actually met them before.
That seems like a difficult thing for a mother to have never met her sons.
Yes, so they've got foster parents on the submarine.
What if she just like squirt them out and then somebody runs them out of the room?
Well, I mean, I guess she would have met them when they were born, but that's...
Right, yeah.
Like, there's a big difference between a newborn and a child, as we've learned.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not like she squeezed out the puppies and then they just disappeared. Like,
She's a deer, there were no puppies.
Whatever. Probably came out with fucking antlers and shit.
Anyway.
Do her kids have stupid lame powers like that too? They turn into fucking deer too?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But
They
she
won
meets...
the genetic lottery that you don't want to have fucking deer. It's still the dumbest character in the book. Continue.
She meets them officially for the first time. They're not super excited about it.
Well, yeah, if you're a kid who's never met your parent, you'd probably be a little pissed off about
And
that
she's
too.
a little infamous. Like, people know who she is. Torturer, interrogator for the Asteri.
Shitty powers.
Okay. Lydia then meets with the Ocean Queen, and this is when we find out that she's been working as a double agent queen in exchange for the Ocean Queen protecting her children. So
Okay.
Lydia says, I'm ready to go back into the field. I want to go to Avalon with these guys. I want to help. She's also very angry with Ruin because, like, Ruin was found out she had kids, and she was like, oh, I forgive you now. And she was like, you only like me now because you found out about the kids. That's dumb.
Okay, that's a strange development altogether.
And then we go back to Ethan, who is now Jessica's assistant. Remember that?
Yeah.
And Jessica gets a phone call. She tells Ethan to bring this big rifle. It's the same rifle that Bryce used to shoot Micah way back in the first book.
I don't remember any of that, but let's just skip over it.
Okay. It's called the Godslayer.
Godslayer. All right.
And they're going to go meet the astronomer who was holding...
Oh, great, another character that we needed.
Well, we've met him before. He was holding the Mystic Wolf and the Fire Sprites in the jar and the dragon. It's that guy.
Got it. Fire Tinkerbells. And
Yes.
he's got a collection of knickknacks.
He does.
Knickknacks and paddywhacks.
Some of those knickknacks are people.
Well, what can you do?
Not that.
Sometimes knickknacks get mixed up with your people, and you put them all on a shelf, forget about them.
Okay. And then Bryce says that she wants to go to the Cave of Princes, which is on the island of Avalon. It's where the Star Sword was before Rude got it. And it's called the Cave of Princes because women are not allowed.
It's a no girls club.
Yes. Lydia and Bryce both tell the Fire Sprites that they're free to go, but they do need their help to find the Sprite Queen, who, like, in the beginning of the book, Lydia found the Sprite Queen, used her help to get Ruin and Hunt and Vaxian out, but then she ran away after that, so we need to find her again.
You're free to go, but we need you to do some shit before.
But pretty please, can you help us?
Right.
And then also help us fight off the Asteri.
So you're not free to go, actually.
Well, the Asteri are the ones who enslaved the sprites, so it's in their benefit.
Well, it's because they're little, so it was easy.
Okay. The astronomer wants Sigrid back, who's the mystic wolf that Ethan killed.
She did.
She's dead, so that's not going to work out. But then,
Here you go. Here's this dead bitch.
but then Hypaxia shows up. Hypaxia is the former queen witch. She's no longer queen. They overthrew her.
Okay. She's the one whose name sounds like a cleaning chemical.
Yes. Yeah, you made a lot of jokes about that last time.
Yep. I was real funny.
And then Jessica, in order to get them out of this mess, buys Sigrid from the astronomer.
You can't buy people.
In this world, you can. We made that illegal. They have not yet.
How much do people cost? Do they put a tag on it?
I think.
Does everybody just have a price tag on them in these books?
Maybe. And then Jessica reveals that the Asteri convinced Micah to kill Danica because they were worried they wouldn't be able to control Danica once she took over power in the wolf pact. So it's been a setup from the very beginning.
So it goes all the way back to Danica. Damn it! I don't like that was so long ago. It feels like a month since I've heard that bitch's name.
I mean, it basically has been.
God, these books take way too long.
The submarine that they're on gets to Avalon. The king of Avalon, who was Cormac's dad, also kind of an asshole,
Kind of a cunt.
like rows out to meet them on a little boat. And it was supposed to just be Bryce and Hunt and Lydia and Therion that are going to Avalon. No, I fucked that up. Anyway, Therion was supposed to stay on the sub, but as their little boat rows off, he jumps into the water
And he's
runs
good.
away.
He's a good swimmer. He's a fish person.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's gone. Again.
Okay. He's gonna go piss off a queen somewhere because that's his job.
Just wait.
Find some new queen to make a queen of something. There's too many queens.
Okay. Ethan goes with Jezebel and Hypaxia to resurrect Sigrid because Hypaxia is a necromancer.
Right.
We've learned that. So they're going to try to do this to bring Sigrid back.
Okay.
And then Ethan's like, this is going to make everything better. Problem solved.
Problem solved. Crisis averted.
We'll see.
Yeah, I would imagine you can't just bring people back from the dead and expect no consequences.
Yeah, usually not a great idea.
Yeah, especially if they've been dead for a hot minute.
Yeah, because it's not like she died 2 minutes ago.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
been
little
while.
bit of decay going on there.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of zombie movies. I know how it works.
I know you have. Bryce and the others get taken to the throne room, and then the king brings out Flynn's sister. Flynn is one of Ruin's friends. He's a pretty minor character, so I was like, you're not going to remember
Nope.
anything.
I mean, it sounds like a name that I would have heard before in one of these books, but
His sister's name is Sathia,
a new character. Perfect.
a new character, your absolute favorite, and then reveals that Sathia tried to flee there because the Asteri can't get to the island because of all the mist around it.
Right, they don't have lights on their boats, so they can't get through the mist.
Sure. Sathia has promised me nothing. In fact, she has refused to pay my asking price, a generous one at that. Her choice between the males who stand beside her, his 2 kids, who are jerks,
Okay.
and as a female, has no worth here beyond the offspring she might bear. I don't see a reason why your sister should remain in this haven another moment. So basically the king is like, you have to get married to one of my children or you have to fucking leave. Those are your options.
Okay.
So, again, he's an asshole. Everybody's sexist. It's awful. But then Therion was like, I'll marry her.
I thought he ran away.
He did. He's there in the throne room. He ran
Okay.
off the submarine to go with Bryce and the
Okay,
others.
I guess I misconstrued. I thought that when they floated off on their boat away from the submarine, he just took off in another direction.
No, he's going with Bryce.
Okay.
And now he's getting married.
All right.
He's
well,
engaged again
Again.
because he's done that before.
All right. Well, he gets around.
He does. Hypaxia does resurrect Sigrid, but accidentally turns her into a reaper. So like an undead person who works for the Underking.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, not great. And then Flynn, who's Sathia's brother, like warns Therion off, and he's like, you have to be very careful. I don't think you should do this because Faye are very serious about marriage. If you marry her, you guys cannot get divorced or she'll be shunned from society completely.
And he's like, well, I don't care. Fuck this bitch.
And then they get married
They
anyway.
get married anyway. They really tied the knot pretty quick, huh?
Yeah.
It's not like a big ceremony or anything. It's like, oh, you're married now.
Well, yeah, because she was about to get kicked off the island, and then, like, she's been kind of lumped in with these rebel groups, so the Asteri are going to kill her if they find her. So it's either you get married to this guy now so you can stay here where they can't find you, or you leave and almost definitely die.
Okay. So she got married.
So she got married to Therion. Sorry about that.
So you're married to a fish person now. Good luck finding his penis. It's a little fishy.
Thank you for that.
Smells like tuna down there.
Oh, God. You done?
I guess so.
Okay.
I might come back to it.
I know you will. And then we go back. The Underking shows up after Sigrid gets resurrected and asks who made the Reaper.
Who body did this?
That's what our daughter says.
Who
Who buddy
body?
did this? Because the Reapers work for him. So now he's got another one, and he's like, where the fuck did this
She's
come
like, I
from?
didn't even hire this bitch.
Yeah. But then Hypaxia says she can fix Sigrid with a Thunderbird. Do you remember what a Thunderbird is?
Yeah, Pokemon.
Okay. Sophie was a Thunderbird.
Yeah,
But she's dead.
she did. Let's bring her back to life, too. Let's just start bringing everybody back to life and see what they look like.
Sophie's body was moved to Avalon because that's where Cormac was from. Cormac was in love with her. He was going to bury her there before he blew himself up.
He did, too.
He's dead too.
It's a real Romeo and Juliet thing.
I mean, not quite as bad. Anyway, they're in the archives under, like, the Avalon Palace when Declan, Rune's other friend, finds a map showing islands that aren't there. So, like, Avalon used to be made up of a bunch of islands, but now there's really just one.
Global warming. Oceans rose. Islands disappeared.
Now, that's what's happening here, but not there.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought maybe it was a universal problem.
And then, you're gonna love this, Bryce and Hunt have really intense reunion sex.
Of course they do.
Yeah, they held off for so long. So proud of you guys. But then Bryce, Hunt, Therion, Baxion, and Sathia go into the Cave of Princes.
Wait, the women aren't allowed there.
Well, yeah, but...
There's nobody like standing guard saying
Yeah.
no ladies allowed.
And she's got the sword, so technically she is the prince.
Okay.
But they're going there because Bryce thinks that way back when, Queen Thea, who originally started this whole war with the Princess of Hell and the Asteri and this whole thing, Queen Thea probably put something in this cave, she thinks. So they're going to go look for it.
Okay. They're just exploring a cave. Halfway through the book, we're going to do some spelunking.
Yes.
Okay.
King Morven, who's the king of Avalon, I don't know if you remembered his name.
I remember Morven being a real stupid fucking name.
Okay. He wants Ruin to marry one of the women on this island.
Have one of these bitches.
Yeah,
And we call them bitches because we don't know their names individually.
I know. Okay. There's some carvings in the Cave of Princes that the guys are following down. So, along they go, down to the cave.
All right.
Yay! Then we're back in Crescent City, and Ethan is like putting away boxes and stuff for Jezebel when he hears like a really big explosion. So he goes to Jezebel's office. Jezebel is watching cameras. On the cameras, missiles are going into like the human area. It's called Asphodel Meadows. So the Asteri have decided to just blow shit up until they can find Bryce and the others.
Cool.
Yeah.
How American of them.
Yeah. So Ethan and Hypaxia decide that they're going to go to Asphodel Meadows and try to help the humans. Bryce and the others are still trekking through the cave. Bryce says that she doesn't want anything to do with the Fae after all this is over, because they've been kind of mean to her. She's not a fan.
Right.
Rune and Lydia are still in the archives. They're doing more research while the other guys are
Was
spelunking.
reading books.
Well, I guess they didn't like that.
You know why. Continue.
Okay.
Oh,
Rune,
hey, Albania scored, and I still don't care, but I care more than I do about this book. Continue.
Rune asked Lydia if she was really going to meet him that one time back in the other book. They organized like a meeting.
Yeah, they were going to hook up and do
Yeah.
it. Probably in the butt. Seems like a butt guy.
Okay. But Lydia says it doesn't even really matter at this point. And then Lydia finds this scroll. This scroll is the oldest I could find. This doesn't offer more than what we already know about the usual sort of earth magic the Fae possess, but it does mention that those with earth magic were sent ahead to scout lands to sense where to build. They could sense ley lines, channels of energy running throughout the land. They told the Asteri to build their cities where several of the lines met at natural crossroads of power, and pick those places for the Fae to settle to. but they selected Avalon just for the Fae to be their personal, eternal stronghold. So, the reason Avalon has all this mist and shit is because it's on like an intersection of ley lines, and that's why the Asteri can't get in, because the ley lines are acting as like protection.
So they explain why the mist is there.
Yes. King Morven and the Autumn King, who must have got out of his closet.
He came out of the closet.
He came out of the closet. They show up in the cave where Bryce and the others are trekking through.
And they're like, hey, no ladies allowed.
Well, and they have Flynn and Declan, so they're holding them hostage to get Bryce and the others to get out of the cave where the girls don't go, and to hand over the Autumn King's notebook, and to basically hand themselves over to the Asteri.
Hey, no girls allowed. Give me back my diary.
Yeah. And
I just came out of the closet.
Okay. You having fun with that? And then Lydia explains more about her kids.
She's like, I never cared about these little brats anyway.
Can I ask you about your deal with the Ocean Queen? I was young and afraid when I made my bargain with her, but even now I'd make the same choices. Pollux isn't their father, so the Hammer, who she was sleeping with,
The Hammer!
maintain her cover. Okay. I come from a long line of powerful stag shifters. We have rituals, secret ones. We don't necessarily worship the same gods that you do. You participated in some kind of secret sex rite and got pregnant? Essentially, yes.
So some weird orgy thing?
I don't know if it was an orgy, if it was just between two people. She doesn't specify.
I'm going to assume it was an orgy.
So it was a sex ritual. She got pregnant. And then, like, as a cover, because the Asteri don't know that she has kids. Nobody there knows. So as a cover, she pretended that she got kidnapped. And then gave birth to her sons on the submarine.
Are they twins, or did this happen 2 separate times?
They're twins.
Okay.
And so that she made that deal with the Ocean Queen so that the Ocean Queen would protect her children, but in exchange she had to become a double agent.
Okay. That's a weird... Why does that need to be a part of it? Why does it need to be a weird sex thing? Why did you write that into this book, Sarah Maas?
I mean, the other Fae had weird sex things. You remember Talon Mai?
You could have just been like, oh, it was the Hammer's kids. Whatever. Instead of like, I don't know who the dad is. Somebody call Maury Povich. Let's get some tests in here. You are not the father.
Okay. Well, too late now. That's how it goes.
All right. Well, how much drugs does she do when she's writing these books?
You know,
to
you've
come up
asked
with all
that
this
before, right?
It's just a question that keeps coming to mind because a normal person doesn't think this way.
You're not a normal person.
I'm not. I'm not going to
and
argue that.
You are not a person who reads or
Nope.
any of this really. So I don't think you get to make critiques here, sir.
I think I do.
Nope. I'm telling you right now.
I'm the one who has to listen to it, so I get to make my critiques.
Are we done with your critiques for now? Can we move on?
I guess so.
Okay. Bryce causes a cave-in, so...
That's why girls aren't allowed in the cave, because they fuck it up.
Okay. So they had to leave Flynn and Declan behind for now, but Bryce is like, we gotta keep going. We gotta figure out what we need to figure out. So she causes a cave-in so that they can get away. Tells everyone to jump in the river, because there's a river going through the cave.
Cave River.
She did that in the Night Court, too. I don't know if you remember. She was like, in the river I go. And this is when Ruin finally realizes, hey, Flynn and Declan aren't here anymore. What happened to them?
They're in the cave-in somewhere.
And then Bryce and the others find a sarcophagus. It's Prince Peleus, who, with the Cave of Princes, is named after him.
It's a fitting name then. He's a prince. Cave of Princes.
Yes.
That checks out.
Yes, and he was the one who forced Queen Thea to marry him. So, not a great guy.
Well,
And then they realize there's a staircase under it that was built by, it must have been Helena he married. Anyway, there's a staircase under it built by Helena. They go down, they find a river that's got like
a river under the river?
another river.
A bonus river?
A bonus river.
Okay.
There's a star carving on the floor. And the river and the walls all have black salt in them. Do you remember what the black salt does?
Black salt brings the demons or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Bryce and Hunt decide.
Also tastes great on a pretzel.
Okay. Black salt? Is black salt a real thing?
Black salt is actually a real thing. It's not super popular. It's a European thing.
Oh. I guess I didn't realize.
I mean, I wouldn't probably put it on a pretzel. It was just a joke.
Okay.
But it is a thing.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Bryce and Hunt drink water from the river, and then they meet Adis in hell.
You know, why are they drinking water from some random river?
Because the river has black salt in it. So they're drinking the water will let them teleport themselves, kind of, like mentally, to hell so that they can talk to the princess.
I don't know if that checks out. Also, it seems unsanitary to just drink from a random river that you just found underneath a sarcophagus. I don't think I'm drinking that water.
Well,
That's like drinking the water in Mexico. You can't trust it. You're going to end up with the runs.
okay. They did it. They've got bigger worries right now than getting the poops.
Does anybody poop in this book? At any point, does anyone use a toilet? Because if I'm in a cave wandering around, there's no porta potty or anything. What if I got to take a dump? That's a real concern for me. I get explosive diarrhea on a pretty regular basis, and I need to know where the nearest toilet is at most times. And if I'm wandering around a cave, that's a scary proposition for somebody like me. I might shit my pants.
Okay. Are you done?
And we're back.
Okay. Ethan has been in Asphodel Meadows, where the humans live. Got bombed to shit.
Yeah.
He's been there for 2 days trying to help. Bryce and Hunt meet with Apollyon, one of the princes of hell, who they've talked to before.
Is he the cat?
He's not the cat. Adis is the cat.
Everybody's name starts with the letter A in hell, apparently, and I can't keep it straight.
Okay. Well, Apollyon also calls Hunt his son.
Okay.
So, plot twist?
Hunt's from hell with one L?
Kind of. And then starts talking about Hunt's tattoo, because the Asteria put that black thorn thing back on his head.
Yeah, because
to mark him as a slave.
He's a slave again.
Apollyon says, I am disappointed to see that you have not yet freed yourself from the Black Crown, Orion Athalar. The Black Crowns were collars in hell. Spells crafted by the Asteri to enslave us. They were a binding one the Asteri adapted in their next war upon Midgard. The Asteri princes of hell cannot be contained by the Black Crowns. The Asteri learned that. It was their downfall. As you were made by hell's princes, it should not be able to hold you. So, Hunt's mother was an angel. We know this for a fact. Apollyon says she was. Explain, Bryce says, from the beginning. Bryce says, Regulus has a whole section about invading your planet. I know hell once had warring factions, but you sorted out your shit and marched as one to kick the Asteri out. I know you loved Saya, that you fought for her. I did. I continue to do so long after death. That's Adis, by the way, the kitty cat.
Meow.
Even though she was hardly any better than the Asteri, there is no denying how Thea spent most of her existence. There was goodness in her. She came to regret her actions. Too little, too late. I know. Believe me, I know. The Asteri ordered Peleus to use the horn to close the northern rift. He did, sealing out all other worlds in the process, but the horn broke before he could close it entirely on Hell. Helena used black salt to contact me, hoping to launch another offensive, but we couldn't find a way, unless the rift was fully opened. The vampires and reapers had defected to the Asteri, so that's why the Underking has all the reapers.
So now there's vampires too?
There have been vampires. There was one killed way back in the first book. I know, you don't remember. It's fine.
Wooden stake through the heart?
I still don't understand why Helena built the Cave of Princes, just to talk to you guys. In a way, yes, Helena needed our counsel, but by that point she'd also figured out what Saya had done in her last moments alive. So this goes on and on. So the rift needs to be fully opened before the Princess of Hell can get back. That's the gist of that. Also, find out that Hunt's dad had been able to communicate with the Princess of Hell, and they gave him some of their power. And so he fucked Hunt's mom, knowing that she would get pregnant, to create like an ultimate weapon against the Asteri to work with Bryce. So they were literally made for each other.
Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the kitty cat there earlier? Like, on their planet, not in hell?
Yeah, so he can occasionally, for like a few minutes at a time, go to Midgard as a cat.
Okay.
But he can't stay there for very long, because it's like a like a projection almost. It's not really him,
Okay.
which is why he's a cat.
Meow 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 meow.
Okay.
He's a cat.
Yeah, I got that. He is a cat.
That's what cat says.
Rune and Lydia decide to go down to the Cave of Princes to look for Flynn and Declan. We find out only descendants with enough starlight can use the sword and the dagger. So that's the reason Bryce is able to do it at all, because she's the first one in a long time to have enough power to do it.
I have the power.
Yeah, you made a lot of He-Man jokes last
Yeah,
time.
she's He-Man.
Okay. Bryce took this other person's power, and that gave her like an extra boost. That's why she can teleport a lot easier now. But she needs to find the source of Thea's power and like take that in before she can fully use the sword and the dagger. Unlock their special super secret powers.
Oh. So she can get into Castle Grayskull?
Sure. And then Adis says, again, you need to open the rift. Open it all the way. Let us in. We'll fuck them up for you.
Okay. Are they capable of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is when we find out that, you remember the Crystallos demon? Way back in the first book?
Vaguely.
They were made by the Princes of Hell to track down the horn. That's why they kept coming after Bryce.
Right.
Bryce and Hunt wake up. Autumn King and Morven got through the cave-in. They're there again. Being awful. They have trapped the others in like a big ring of fire. And when Bryce gets sick of all this shit, she murders Morven's kids, the murder twins.
Okay, they did now.
They're dead now. And then goes after the Autumn King. But he backs her into a corner because he's got a sword. But then Rune shows up and then stabs his dad and then tells him what the Oracle really said and then beheads him. So Autumn King, dead.
He did.
So when Rune saw the Oracle when he was like 12 or 13 or whatever it is, the Oracle said, you will be the end of your line. But he didn't want to tell that to his dad, so he told his dad, the Oracle said, I'm going to be a great king. And this is when he said, he reveals to his dad, by the way, I'm it for us. Suck it, see you later.
Suck it! Crotch chop. Suck it.
There's no mention of a crotch.
There should be a crotch chop.
And then Bryce kills Morven. So now we're down two kings.
Which is fine, because Morven's a stupid name. Also, there were way too many kings and about 1 million queens.
Well, now there's two less.
Good. Also, everybody has diarrhea because they drank that river water.
Okay.
And there's nowhere to poop.
Okay. They realize that Thea's magic is in the island. That weird star that they saw on the floor has like two little slots in it. One is for the sword, one is for the dagger.
Okay.
So Bryce sticks them in the holes.
She's good at sticking things in holes. That's what she's been doing for the whole series.
Rude.
And dick down.
This big light comes out, and then Bryce absorbs Thea's power. So she's got it all, officially.
Okay.
But then the whole island kind of starts coming back to life, because everything's been like dead and dying and decrepit. But then there's flowers and trees, and this big hill spouts up out of the ground, and it's a whole thing. To the point where the castle is completely destroyed. It's gone, because like a big mountain rose up where it was.
Okay.
And then, right around then, they get like cell service again, because they haven't had it this whole time because of the mist. And that's when they find out that Asphodel Meadows has been destroyed by the Asteri.
Okay. Also, because this whole island just got destroyed, another reason why girls were not allowed in the cave.
Okay.
They just fucked up everything. Continue.
Ethan and Hypaxia show up on the island. Bryce wants to open the Northern Rift immediately, because now that she's got all this power, she's like, we gotta take care of this. We gotta do this now, before the Asteri blow up somewhere else. But then Ethan says he came here to get Sophie's body, because Sophie was a Thunderbird. She was gonna bring Sigrid back to life. But Sophie's body was under the castle,
And it's gone.
which was just destroyed.
Right.
So no more Sophie. No more Sophie corpse. Really, Sophie
Yeah.
herself.
I mean,
there
there's
for a
probably
while.
still a corpse there somewhere, but
There's probably pieces.
yeah.
Not really what they
I
need.
chunked that up.
But then Hunt says, well, I have lightning. You can use my lightning to bring her back. So they've got like a special way to catch some of his lightning and whatever.
Lightning in a bottle.
Lightning in a bottle, essentially. And then Bryce, because Hypaxia used to be a Mediwitch, Bryce asks Hypaxia to come up with an antidote for this parasite that's in the water. Because that's the only way they're going to be at their full strength. They're really going to be able to take on the Asteri. They need an antidote. She also needs to get in touch with Jessica, because she's decided, way back at the end of the first book, Regulus called her and said, if you don't tell anybody that you killed Micah, we'll let you live. But at this point, she's probably going to die anyway. So she says, you know what, fuck that. We're going to tell everybody what happened to Micah. And Jessica has that footage because it happened in Jessica's office.
Right.
So let's talk to Jessica. So Ethan and Hypaxia start getting water samples. They need a Reaper, which is good because they know one.
Yeah, they got one of those.
But I think they end up getting a random one because they don't want to fuck up Secret even more.
Are there just Reapers running around?
I mean, you can borrow them, I guess.
Is Blue Oyster Cult constantly there, telling people not to fear the Reaper?
Not that I know of, no. Bryce's parents, Emil, who is Sophie's brother, Juniper and Fury, who haven't been there for a while, and then Syrinx, her little pet
Right,
chimera.
yeah, I forgot about him.
They show up at the island. They managed to get out before everything was blown the fuck up. So they're going to hide out on the island. Hypaxia confirms that the Reapers don't have this parasite in the system, so she can use Reaper blood to kind of work as an antidote. Because something about when they die kills off the parasite.
Because they're dead.
Because they're dead. Bryce, her parents, and Hunt go to this place called Nina, which is basically their version of the Arctic Circle. The Northern Rift is way up there in the Arctic Circle. Nina.
Antarctica?
No, Arctic. North.
Whatever.
It's the Northern Rift. It's north. North.
It's all north if you go around all the way. Flat Earth. No?
No, we've talked about that too. No.
No flat Earth.
No flat Earth.
I wish one of these books they would write it and they'd all live on a flat Earth.
No, because that's fucking stupid.
And then big ice wall around the outside.
No.
Have you ever listened to Flat Earthers?
I've listened. You
Yeah.
made me watch a documentary.
Yeah, those ones didn't get real deep into it. I've listened to podcasts with guys who are like hardcore Flat Earthers,
Guys.
and they are bananas. It's my favorite.
That fucking documentary made me so mad that night I had a dream that I was just punching those motherfuckers in the face.
Oh, Flat Earthers, you're my favorite.
Not mine.
Because you're so ridiculous.
We're done with the flat earther. Let's continue.
All right. Rather talk about Flat Earthers.
No.
Also, still 1-0 Albania.
Okay.
Still don't care about that either.
Hypaxia makes a temporary antidote with Hunt's lightning, but she had to use all of it, so now they don't have enough to help Secret at all.
Oh no, we're out of lightning.
Maybe just stop fucking with her. Leave her alone. You've done enough damage. But Ethan decides to be like a lab rat for this antidote to see if it works.
That's always a good idea.
Well, he's kind of dumb. We've learned that.
Nothing could go wrong here.
He takes it and then, gets his big rush of power, realizes that he can summon snow, so he's an ice wolf now.
Okay.
He goes to Bryce's apartment to get all of Danica's research, because it used to be Danica's apartment. Bryce and Hunt go through a gate and see on security cameras that the harpy has been there. So the harpy was an angel. Lydia killed her at the end of the second book. So somehow the harpy has been brought back to life.
Necromancer, probably.
No, there was a point way back in the beginning of this book when Regulus said that he needed some of Hunt's lightning. That's what he needed it for. He used that to bring the harpy back to life. But it's not really her. She's just like a walking corpse, basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
More Night of the Living Dead stuff.
Yeah. Ethan goes to speak to the other wolves. He tells them all about the Asteri and the parasite and what he did to Sigrid. He just look, I fucked up. I'm really sorry about that, guys.
My bad.
My bad.
Whoopsies.
And then the astronomer, Sabine, Danica's mom, who's a real bitch, and Sigrid, the Reaper, show up.
That's a weird group.
Yes. Sabine says that Ethan made Sigrid into a Reaper, which, I mean, he did kind of do.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah. But then the Prime shows up, and the Prime is like the leader of all the wolves. He's very important. So, Sabine says, Sigrid will dwell here from now on as your future Prime apparent. I don't recall approving this request, says the Prime. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for it to turn out like this, says Ethan. I was trying to make things right. I have no intention of usurping the Fendirs, said Ethan. I only want what's best for our people. I thought Sigrid might be different, but I was wrong. I was so wrong, and I'm sorry. Father, don't listen to this trash, you dumb bitch. Silence, the Prime ordered. I heard what you said, the Prime told Ethan, over the cameras. Danica did indeed guess at what you have told everyone. She suspected it and asked me about it, and though I had long thought the same, I shied away from the truth. It was easier to continue than to face a painful reality. To keep stability, rather than risk an uncertain future. My daughter, Sabine, did not care to listen when I mentioned the wolves might be better, but my granddaughter did. Danica might have led us back to what we were before we allowed ourselves to be collared by the Asteri. Ethan Holstrom is my heir. So, essentially, the Prime is declaring in front of everyone, he's skipping over Sabine. When Prime dies, Ethan is going to become the Prime.
Okay.
Very important.
Prime Wolf, not to be confused with Logan Paul's energy drink. Prime energy drink.
Okay.
Which I won't drink because fuck Logan Paul.
Yeah, he's kind of a douche.
He's a trash bag.
But then Sabine gets so mad about this.
Because she's kind of a cunt.
Yeah, she is. She stabs the Prime in the face.
Suck it.
He is dead immediately.
So, yeah, all she did was just immediately make Ethan the
Prime. Yeah.
It's
But then she tries to stab Ethan.
bad planning on her part.
She's got very little common sense, if any. But Ethan has just taken this antidote. He's a lot stronger than everybody else.
Plus, he can shoot snowballs now.
Sure.
He's a snowman.
So he shifts, he turns into a big wolf, and then he bites through the sword that Sabine has. Just shatters it into a million little pieces. Then Sigrid jumps at her opportunity. She kills the astronomer who was keeping her in a fucking tank forever, so fair enough. And then Ethan kills Sabine. So, just like that, Ethan is head wolf in charge, no competition.
Alright, he's big dick swinging.
Yeah, he is. Rune and Lydia are back in Crescent City. They're looking for Isaiah and Naomi, who were the two other angels that had helped Hunt previously. We haven't heard about them in a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. This is when Rune calls Lydia his girlfriend for the first time.
Is that notable news?
Sometimes it is, yeah.
Alright.
Therion sees battleships headed toward the island, so he sends a message to the River Queen.
You sunk my battleship.
Yes. Hunt uses his lightning to power up Bryce. He's done that before. And then they open a portal, not to Hell, but to the Fey world with the Night Court.
Okay.
And Nesta is just like sitting in front of a bookshelf or a fire or something. And Nesta like jumps and she's like, the fuck are you doing here again?
I thought I was rid of you.
Basically. Therion says the Queen of the Fae sent him to meet with the River Queen, which kind of wants her to hide people in the Blue Court, under the river, to keep them safe from the Asteri. Because I guess the Asteri can't swim.
Okay.
I don't know. That was the only reason the only logical reason I can be like, well, that would work. Maybe they can't swim. But then the River Princess comes in, his former fiancé, who doesn't have a name, and she starts throwing a fucking tantrum. Bryce asks Nesta to give her the mask that controls the dead people.
Dead people mask.
Nesta says no.
That's mine.
Bryce tells Nesta to keep her parents. So she basically does like a trade. Like, you hold on to my parents for me. Keep them safe. I'll use the mask. I'll give it back as soon as I'm done. And then she eventually is like, you know what? Don't even give me the mask. Just keep my parents safe while I do this. And if I don't come back, just keep them safe there. But then after that, Nesta was like, okay, no, it's fine. You have the mask. I'll keep your parents safe. And then the portal closes. But then zombie Harpy sneaks up on them before they can reopen it again. Therion apologizes to the River Princess. Says he'll divorce Sathia if the River Princess really wants. But like, Therion, Flynn told you can't do that. You're going to ruin her life. Think through something. Please.
This guy.
The River Queen finally says, like, I don't want you to marry my daughter. You're stupid. Please stop. Isaiah, Naomi, and Celestina show up at the rift where Bryce and Hunt are being attacked by undead Harpy. Bryce puts the mask on, and because the mask can control death, she's able to get the Harpy to stand down because the Harpy is dead.
Yeah.
Lydia gets a phone call from Pollux, the hammer, and he says, I have your sons, and I'm going to kill them if you don't come here now.
Oh. That's a decision.
Yep. Celestina says that her and the others were tracking the Harpy. Hunt tries to attack Celestina because he's still mad at her, but he's got that tattoo, and the tattoo stops him. But then Hunt remembers what Apollyon said.
Normally a face tattoo would only stop you from getting a job.
Yes. Here it's got some other purposes. But he remembers what Apollyon said, and he, like, fires up his lightning and breaks off the tattoo. And then he also does that for Isaiah. So officially, no more slave tattoos. They can fuck up whoever they want. But Celestina, like, apologizes again. She wants to make up for what she did. So...
Oh, we got Choo Choo in the background.
Yeah, guys, we live, like, not even half a mile from a railroad crossing.
Choo Choo!
Here it goes. But then Bryce says that she has a plan, which her plans are usually a little complicated.
Of course they are. God forbid we do something simple in one of these books. It's halftime.
Okay, what does that mean?
It's halftime and it's 1-0 to Albania. Still don't care, but it is halftime.
Okay. You said you're with me, all of you. Put the past behind you. Focus on what's ahead. We have a world to save, and I need my mate at my side to do it. If you don't plan on killing Celestina anymore, we're going to raise an army. What army? Said Isaiah. We're going to raise the fallen. You said you were going to use the mask to fight the Asteri. And we are. It's your fault you didn't ask for specifics on how we'd use it against them. We need a distraction. Hell won't be enough, but an army of the dead, an army of the fallen, will work nicely. I thought if we could get them and get the mask from Nesta, it might work. The Asteri kept their wings. They kept your wings like trophies. I think part of their souls might still be attached. So she's going to use the mask to reanimate the souls of the angels who died in the last rebellion, because the Asteri all kept their wings like trophies. And then she'll have the ability to get them to help.
All right.
So, a little convoluted.
Army of the Dead.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's an army of the dead. And then they open the portal to hell. All the princes come out. There's a bunch of demons with them. They're going to go fuck everything up.
And they're pissed.
Yes. Ethan finds Jessica and asks for a meeting with the Underking. He wants to talk to Connor. Again, he's tried this before. It didn't go very well. So I guess they're going to try again. Hypaxia gives out the antidote to all the wolves. It is temporary, but like it's all they got right now, so take it.
She whipped that up pretty quick.
She did. I think it's been a few days at this point, but still.
It's still...
Pretty fast.
Yeah, science doesn't usually move that quick. I'm sure it didn't get approved by the FDA or anything, but we're going to rush it out.
No, it did not, actually. I don't think the Asteri give a fuck about the safety of medications, for the record.
Well, she probably should have helped with that COVID vaccine, because that took a minute.
Well,
She could have knocked it out in a couple of days.
I guess so. Jessica says that Bryce wants them to bring the antidote to the Eternal City with the Asteri palaces. So they're going to bring this antidote with them, hand it to as many of them as possible, so that they can be at like their peak power when they go up against the Asteri. And they're going back to the palace, because that worked out so well for them last time. Ethan and Hypaxia go to the Underking. The Underking says, I will give you 7 minutes to talk to Connor. But Ethan can talk to Connor. Connor cannot speak back to him. So it's a one-sided conversation.
Okay.
Just a lot of facial expressions and pointing and stuff like that. But Connor gives him like a special bullet. And then Ethan has his new snow powers. So he freezes the Underking. And then Hypaxia kills the Underking. Because Hypaxia killed the Underking, she is now the Underking.
Okay.
Under Queen, whatever you want to call it.
Because we needed another queen.
Well, now we got another one. Now Connor has the ability to speak, because the Underking was the one who was not letting him do that.
Yeah.
Says the bullet was made specifically for Bryce, and she has to use it with the Godslayer rifle, and she'll know what to do with it. Therian and Sathia, his new wife, are back on land, and the Viper Queen shows up with all these assassins. And then Ethan and Hypaxia show up, and then the Viper Queen is like, we don't need to do this today. I'll call everybody off. You're fine. Hypaxia needs to find Bryce right away to give her the antidotes. Bryce and the others are in the back of a van, and they start doing like a live recording, because remember, they're going to release the footage of what happened.
Right.
Look how close we are to the end, Justin.
Thank Christ.
I am Bryce Quinlan, heir to the Starborn Fae, queen of the Fae in Avalon and Valbera, but most importantly, the half-human daughter of Ember Quinlan and Randall Zalago. We're here to show you that the Republic is not as all-powerful as you've been led to believe. I led a legion, the Fallen, against the Archangels, against the Asteri. Today we're here to tell you that it's worth it, fighting back. It's time to put a stop to it. What happened in Asphodel Meadows was an atrocity. It must never be allowed to happen again. We, the people of Midgard, can never allow it to happen again. The Asteri lie to you, all of you, every second of every day. For the past 15,000 years, they've lied to us, enslaved us, and we haven't even known the half of it. They use a parasite in the water, they harvest our magic, they need that magic, they need us, our power. The Asteri don't want you to know this. We've been told we're too weak, and they're too powerful for us to fight back. But that's a lie. So we're here to show you that can be done. I fought back, and I killed an archangel who the Asteri used like a puppet to murder Danica Fendir and the Pack of Devils. I fought back, and I won. I have the footage to prove it. So they give a big speech, footage goes out, and then chaos everywhere because, as the Asteri predicted, people are not happy to learn that, like, the archangels in particular are not invincible.
Yeah.
They can easily be killed by a half-breed, is what they kept calling.
It's
Bryce.
still really weird to me that in this world of magic and portals and princes of hell and demons that they have essentially Twitter. Because, like...
Is that the part you tripped up on?
Well, yeah, because, like, she recorded on a phone, it goes out to everybody, you'd assume that it's, like, it's the head story on Yahoo's News, it's CNN's covering it, Fox News has got it. It's crazy to me that, like, in this world, you've got a Jeff Bezos somewhere, and a Elon Musk, and I don't know.
Okay.
It's just, that throws me a little bit. Cell phones and stuff.
Okay. They release all this footage, and then they decide to go to a safe house where they're putting in the last parts of their plan together. And then Bryce and Hunt have sex again.
Of course they do. Because you're about to have a big old war, let's do it.
Well, what else are you supposed to do when you think you might die in a couple days?
I guess so.
All the wolves go into hiding because now that Ethan is their prime and the Asteri know that Ethan has helped Bryce, their word for their lives, because they are directly associated with Ethan. Rune and Lydia have actual real sex for the first time.
Oh, he gets to actually get his little dick wet. That's nice. He's just been having brain sex the whole time.
Yeah.
Finally gets to finish off a little bit. Good for him.
I knew you'd like that.
Also, it essentially devolves into porn just before it gets to the end of the book.
Yeah. I mean, just for a couple of chapters, but Ethan gets the Godslayer rifle, and then he leaves for Eternal City. They're going to distract the Asteria with Hell's army, and then they're going to break into the palace. Rune and Lydia are going to go find her sons first, because that's, like, her top concern. Pollux is an asshole. He might literally kill her children.
Her kids that she never mentioned are her top priority. Great parenting.
There was a reason she didn't mention them. It was a secret. She was trying to protect their lives.
Still, she doesn't seem like a real good parent.
Stop. Bryce and Hunt go to the throne room. Bryce is wearing the mask. Regulus shows up. It says he knew when the rift was open, and the Asteri guards were waiting. So, basically he's saying that the Asteri guards, like, pounced on all the princes of hell as soon as they got out of the rift. They knew they were coming. That's not a surprise. He knew what Bryce was going to do. He's pulling the, like, I'm real smart, I know better than you kind of thing. And he sent missiles through the portal into hell. Because the portal's wide open now.
Right.
Bryce and Hunt teleport out. Rune and Lydia get help from the Mystics to figure out where her sons are. But Rune is like, Lydia's out of her mind. She's not thinking rationally. She's going to get herself killed. So, in order to keep her from doing that, he shoots her in the leg.
Great solution.
And then runs off. Because he's like, I'm going to save him for you. Don't worry, I got this. There's a lot of stupid in these books.
Yeah.
A lot of poor decisions. The Asteri had more of those robot suits. Declan manages to stop all of them by, like, hacking into doing computer stuff.
He's a computer nerd.
He's a computer fairy.
Okay.
And then Bryce puts the souls of the fallen angels into the suits, basically.
That checks out.
And so the fallen angels are now controlling the
That's how
suits.
souls work. And robot suits.
And in this world, apparently, that is how they work.
Okay.
All of the Asteri show up except for Regulus. Regulus is a little bitch. He's still hiding. Bryce stabs one of them with the sword and the dagger at the same time. And remember, the Autumn King said that the sword and the dagger combined make a portal to nowhere. That's his exact words, portal to nowhere.
Okay.
Turns out portal to nowhere is a black hole. So
Neat.
it opens up a black hole right in the middle of him. And then he goes,
Just sucks him in.
just sucks him in. He's gone.
Just like the Titanic sub. Just gone.
There wasn't a black hole, though.
Yeah, might as well have been.
Okay. Well, no, they did find some pieces.
Yeah, well. Little ones.
Okay. I like that we're still talking about this fucking... What, it's been almost a year?
I don't know. I don't even know when that happened.
A long time.
They're trying to send people, that same company is saying that they can send people to Venus now. I just read a news article.
No, thank you.
They're going to try to send people to Venus.
Oh my God.
Hey, newsflash, those people are all going to be dead.
Right away.
Right away. They're not making it. Not a chance.
I hope they got another N64 controller.
I mean, how else would you control it?
Probably had to get that off the eBay or something.
It's just a spaceship. 6 buttons will cover it.
Okay. But as the black hole is sucking in the Asteri, Bryce has to be like very careful because it starts sucking her in too. So they decide,
as a black hole would.
As a black hole would. So she has to very forcefully pull the sword and the dagger apart. She's like, we're gonna maybe not do that again, because a black hole's in the middle of like people in general.
Yeah. Maybe we'll save that for later.
Yes. Ruin runs up to Hunt and says they need to go to the core that's under the Asteri Palace, where they store all this first light that they've been eating, basically.
Yeah. Nom.
Yeah. So they teleport into a corridor, and it's filled with, it just says enemies, so like Asteri guards and whatever. But this big blast of water clears them all out, drowns everybody. And then it's Therion! Yay!
You can control water now?
I mean, he is a fish person.
Fish people can just control the water?
Sometimes, yeah.
I did not know this was part of the deal. Also, I thought he had to give up being a fish person.
Well, so just because he doesn't have the tail anymore doesn't mean he can't do the other things.
Questionable. It's all real convenient at this point.
Okay. Also, I think he may have taken the antidote at this point, so that might be why he can control the water now.
Okay.
Anyway, but he also says, I dropped the other antidotes. We gotta find them.
Whoopsies.
Ruin finds Pollux, but not the kids. Pollux says that the mystic that they talked to lied because Pollux wanted to corner Ruin and or Lydia to kill them. But Pollux, like, gets a hold of Ruin. They go to find Lydia where Ruin shot her and left her.
Right.
But she's not there anymore. Therion is with Lydia. He's got one of the antidotes. He found it and he gives it to her. He's like, you need this way more than I do right now.
She got shot in the fucking leg.
She got shot in the leg. That's going to help her heal. Bryce and Hunt teleport back to the core. Regulus is there again. So they need to, there's this big crystal around the core, and they have to destroy that to destroy the whole crystal. Hunt melts it with his lightning. So, part 1, done.
Check.
Check.
Motherfucking check.
Yes. Ethan is running towards the palace. He gets blasted off his feet and breaks the antidote he's holding. So they're losing these antidotes that they...
Just hand over fist losing these.
Yeah. Pollux says he's going to kill Lydia's kids while she watches, so that's not cool. Lydia gets on her hands and knees and starts begging for their lives. Ruin says he'll exchange his life for the kids, because like, he's trying to do something. And then Pollux says no, and then he tries to hurt the kids. But then Lydia, who's just taken this antidote...
She's superpowered now.
She, like, jumps over him, basically smothers him, and, like, her whole body lights on fire. So she's got firepower.
Cool.
And then she burns the shit out of Pollux. So now Pollux is dead.
He did.
Nobody's gonna miss him.
No.
Tells Ruin to take her kids and get the fuck out of there.
Also, don't shoot him, dickhead.
I don't think he's gonna shoot the kids.
He just shot her.
Well, yeah.
He fucks her in one chapter, and then a couple minutes later, he's shooting her in the leg.
I know.
Like, bitch, you stay here.
I know.
So at this point, she's got to be like, man, try not to shoot any kids, dick.
She goes running out. She kills Murdoch, the Bloodhound. She plans to destroy the missiles that the Asteri have there. She thinks she's going to die in the process, so she's like sacrificing herself. But then the fire sprites show up.
Oh, right.
And
the Tinkerbells.
Yeah, and they do it first, and they're like, we will do this for you in exchange for helping our queen, because Lydia let her go.
They're little kamikaze sprites, huh?
I don't think they die when they do it.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're minor characters. Nobody cares.
Okay. Ruin finds an antidote on the floor, and he takes it, and then he's got, like, healing powers, so he heals Therion, because Therion got shot in the process.
Okay.
Bryce is losing her strength. Like, she has been teleporting a lot. She's been doing a lot. She's running out of steam here. But then Ethan shows up with the Godslayer rifle. She tells Hunt to leave and then teleports back to the core. Regulus is there still. And he says that destroying the core will destroy the whole world. They built like a kill switch into it. So, like, basically, if you take us down, we're taking everybody with us. But, like, this is their only shot. So she shoots. But as she's shooting, Regulus touches her, but When Regulus touches her, she like absorbs some of his power. So that allows her to open another portal. She gets pulled in. She created another black hole when she destroyed the core. It sucks all of them into space. So all of the other Asteri, Regulus, and her all floating in space.
I'm pretty sure pressure would cause a problem with that and everybody would just explode.
Well, like the Titanic submersible.
Like the Titanic submersible, and we're back to that.
Hunt realizes that this is kind of dumb, I will admit. He's still got some of Bryce's power from when they had sex the other night, because it was like a transfer.
She squirted and it got it stuck on him, I guess.
Sure.
Okay.
So he puts the mask on because he's like, well, I might be able to use this now. And then this big robot suit shows up, and he can tell that it's got Shahar's spirit in it. Shahar was the angel he was in love with who led the rebellion a long time ago.
Right.
So he gets in the suit because the suit can survive in space. It's got like rockets and stuff. It can move around, whatever.
Exo Squad.
He shoots a missile at Regulus, grabs Bryce, gets her back through the other side of the portal right before it closes. But Bryce is dead. She's been in space for too long. Really, any amount of time.
Any time is too long if you're not in a proper spacesuit.
Atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All important things.
Can't just be in space.
Can't just exist in space. Hunt uses his lightning to try to restart her heart, but it's not really working. But then Hypaxia and Jessica show up. And Jessica offers to trade her life for Bryce's. Because Jessica was cursed to live forever until she revealed whatever secret knowledge Apollyon thought she had. She got nothing. She got books. Apollyon. Calm down. Bryce is in like this weird afterlife. She sees Jessica, and Jessica tells her to go back. And also that she left her the entire library that Jessica was looking after this whole time. And then Bryce wakes up. And then they go back to the Northern Rift. They open the portal.
God, how do you still have a whole page of notes?
We're almost done, Justin.
Jesus.
They open the portal. Also, this is the next book, so it's just this.
Oh, good. I thought you had a whole nother page of notes. I was like, fuck me.
Okay. They open the portal again to the Fey world. Bryce gives the mask and the dagger back to Nesta, because she took that dagger from Asriel.
Right.
She also gives Nesta the sword and says, like, I think you're meant to do something with this.
Oh, so that's going to be
So that's probably going to be in the next ACOTAR book.
great.
And then Bryce sends all the armies of hell back. She dissolves the monarchy, because she was queen of the Fae after she killed her horrible dad.
Okay.
She has a whole thing about it.
Is it because the monarchy's stupid?
Yes, actually.
We're looking at you, Brits.
I'll make this short and sweet for all the busy nobles here who have to get back to champagne lunches and spa treatments. This is my first and only decree as the Fae Queen of Valbara and Avalon. The royal houses are ended. I've had the documents drawn up. Allow me to be perfectly clear. I am not abdicating either throne. I am no longer queen, but with this document, no one shall ever wear the crown again. The Fae monarchy is abolished forever. I am donating all the Autumn King's houses to the city to house those displaced by the attacks. One of the Fae nobles choked, it says. So the noble Fae are real mad that she's doing all this, limiting their power, but the plan is to set up like basically a senate instead.
I was going to say, what kind of government are they putting into place here? Because it seems like you got to have something in place if you're getting rid of the
As we
monarchy.
learned in Iraq, you can't just destroy the government and then walk away.
Bye.
Yeah.
Good luck fixing this.
Yeah. So then we find out that Rune got the apartment underneath where Bryce lives, and it's big enough for Lydia and her kids, because he has officially decided that Lydia is his mate. And then Bryce is going to open her own art gallery with the fire sprites as her assistants.
The end?
The end. That's the
it.
end of the book. We did it, Justin.
Is this the end? Like they're not going to have another one? This story is wrapped?
I think it's going to be like ACOTAR. So these first 3 books were about Bryce and Hunt for the most part. Then I think she said that there will be another Crescent City book. And it'll probably be more focused on somebody else. And obviously not the Asteri. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do now that the Asteri are gone. But
They'll come up with some nonsense, I'm sure.
yeah.
Some more bullshit.
Okay.
Fuck these books. That's my take on it. The ACOTAR ones were much more tolerable. The Dragon Sex books were much more tolerable. These ones were too complicated. Not a fan.
These are probably the most complicated books I've read in the last few months. So we won't have to do
Good, because I am
this.
not into this at all.
I could tell. You survived.
I did survive. It is still 1-0 Albania.
Okay.
Still don't care about that game, but it's on.
So what do you think I rated it?
God, I hope you rated it something in the negatives.
Justin?
But you probably gave it a 4.
I did, yeah. Yeah.
Again, the rating system's flawed because I can see right through it. You give everything like a 3 or a 4.
Okay. We're going to get to, in not too much longer, the first one that I gave a 5. So I'll be surprised if you can accurately guess that.
Okay. I'm looking forward to when you give something a 1. Because I feel like we're not even going to review something that you gave a 1 to.
You are correct. I don't think about giving anything a 1.
See, this is where we differ.
I know.
I'm throwing out 1s.
I know you are.
I'm throwing out 0s. I'm giving it a 1 because you have to, but I'm writing that it's a 0. And I'm giving a long explanation about why I hated it.
Okay, noted.
Just like how I give reviews on Google Maps.
I know, that's your favorite.
I love giving Google Map reviews. It's my favorite.
Follow us on Facebook and TikTok, FAE Podcast.
We're out there TikToking.
We are out there TikToking. Next, guys, we are covering the Plated Prisoner series.
God, I hope it doesn't suck as bad as this did.
Justin's going to find out, but it's not nearly as long. I mean, there are 4 books that we're going to be covering, but the books themselves are pretty short, so.
Okay, good.
So we'll see you next time.
Bye.